Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's baking blog. Today I'm not baking, instead I'm going to make slow cooked beef shin or shin of beef in red wine. It's going to be a lovely savoury dish, perfect to go with mashed potatoes or rice or even pasta. But it takes a while because we're going to slow cook the beef shin in the oven for about 3 hours after we've browned it and prepared the vegetables. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for this I have 1.5 kilograms, which is 3.3 pounds of beef shin. This is boneless beef shin and it's cut into quite thick pieces. I have 250 grams, 9 ounces of onion which I have chopped, 150 grams, 5¼ ounces of carrot which I have chopped quite finely or quite small, 113 grams, 4 ounces of celery, again chopped quite small, and 14 grams of finely chopped garlic, which is ½ an ounce. I also have here another 300 grams of carrot, which I've chopped but left in quite large pieces. They're going to cook in the sauce basically. I have 500 millilitres, which is 2 cups plus 4 teaspoons of a beef stock. I have 360 millilitres, 1½ cups of red wine, salt and pepper for seasoning. I have 350 grams of a rustic passata, but you could use chopped tomatoes, and that works out at 12 ounces. I have 250 grams, 9 ounces of mushrooms, which I have just cleaned and sliced. And then I have a good pinch, or maybe about a teaspoon of dried thyme and a teaspoon of dried rosemary. So between ½ and 1 gram each of those, and then 2 bay leaves. I have 15 millilitres, 1 tablespoon of oil, and 14 grams, 1 tablespoon of butter. They're for frying off the meat and the vegetables. So with that said, those are all the ingredients that we're going to need, and I'm going to start off by browning the meat. So to do that, I will put the oil and the butter into my deep casserole dish and heat that up. And with the butter melted into the oil and sizzling, I'm going to put 1 piece of my meat in, and I'm going to brown that on one side, then turn it over and brown it on the other side, take it out and put it onto a plate, and do the same with the remainder. And with that browned on both sides, I'm going to take that out and do the remainder, and I will just season each piece with salt and pepper as I put it on the plate. So with my meat browned, I'm going to put my carrots, onions and celery into the same pan, and I'm going to slowly let them saute until they've softened a little bit, and that's going to take 4 or 5 minutes. And as I do that, I'm going to preheat my oven to 150 degrees Celsius, that's 300 Fahrenheit, ready to take the casserole dish once everything has been put into it. And as they soften, I'm going to put my mushrooms in as well. And I'm just going to let those sweat down a little bit. They will release some liquid, some juices, but then that will get absorbed in again. And as those mushrooms cook down a little bit, I'm going to add in my garlic, and if I didn't say how much garlic I had, it was 14 to 15 grams of garlic, which is about half an ounce. And I'm just going to cook that for about a minute. And then I'm going to add in my red wine. I'm just going to use that to deglaze the pan. And let that cook for a minute. And then I'm going to add in my beef stock. And the passata or chopped tomatoes. I'm just going to take a little bit of water into that jar and pour that in. That's just to get the remainder of the passata in, actually. Then I'll add in my bay leaves and my dried herbs. And I'll put the meat in. And you will see that there's quite a bit of fat in the meat and around it, but that sort of fat and collagen should break down quite nicely during the cooking, because we're cooking it at that low temperature for 3 hours, which allows that collagen to break down. And then I'm going to add in my carrots and just distribute those. And I'm going to bring that to the boil. And with that now starting to boil, I'm going to cover it with my lid. And I'm going to put it into the oven at that temperature, 150 degrees Celsius, 300 Fahrenheit, and I'm going to let it cook for about 3 hours until it's tear apart tender and the carrots and everything will be cooked. Then I'll take it out of the oven and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I cooked my shin of beef in the red wine for 3 hours, and it's very, very tender. I've taken just a piece out and you can see it's very tender. In fact, I can pull that piece apart in all probability. Yes, you see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my vegetables for my dinner, and then once my vegetables are made, I'm going to plate some of this up and I will show it to you. The rest of it will go round to my niece for her dinner. So I'll come back once my vegetables are ready and I'm ready to have my dinner. So I've dished my dinner up onto a plate, and I have a good amount of meat there, and it's very, very tender. As you can see, it just falls apart. So I'll have a taste of the meat. That is so good. It's so lovely and tender, it doesn't really need chewing. And I've already tasted the gravy, or the red wine sauce. That's wonderful as well. Nice and rich and silky. And the carrots perfectly cooked, lovely and soft. So this is a very easy recipe actually, although it does take time. And it's not an expensive meal in terms of beef, because this beef shin is a cheap cut of beef, but if you cook it slowly, that fat and collagen that's within the muscle of the shin will break down and melt basically, leaving you just with this lovely tender meat. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.